Qilo, Kamtresha,
Now, this is a very controversial topic. Shall I say it? Yes. Well, the truth must be said. Verse 7, when he opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth living creature saying, come and see. So I looked, and behold, a pale horse. And the name of him who sat on it was Death. And Hades followed him. And power was given to them over a fourth of the earth, 1/4, to kill with sword, and hung with hunger, with death, and by the beast of the earth. The fourth seal was opened, a pale horse came out, and the one who was sitting on it was death itself. The fourth seal, when the first one, white horse, peace. Second seal, red horse, martyrdom, persecution on Christians. Third horse, black, heresy. After heresy came the fourth horse, pale horse, Islam. Go Ahmed. Pale horse, when you go to the original text, it is green color, but it's pale green. Pale horse, when you go to the original text, it talks about the green color, but it's a pale green. Now, when you read the Holy Bible, when it talks about lush green represents life. The Lord Jesus said, if they had done to the green wood this, what are they going to do to the dry wood? Meaning us, we are the dry wood, He is the green wood. What is the green wood? Green is the sign of life. When you see a green tree, you say this tree is alive, is living. When you see a dry, dead tree, there is no sign of life. You say this is a dead tree, true or not? But Jesus is the only wood that is green, meaning He is the only human being on the face of this earth that is sinless. Jesus never sinned, neither with thought nor with deed. Every human being sinned except Jesus Christ. That's why He is the evergreen tree, meaning the ever-living Jesus, the sinless Jesus, the Holy of Holies. This horse is imitating the green color, but it's a fake one, it's pale. You with me? Oh, Habibi. This is not me saying, this is Islam saying, not me. And by the way, with all my love and respect to the Muslim people, I don't have a problem with the Muslim people, but I've got a question mark with the faith of the Islamic world. Now, the fourth seal, a pale green pale. You look at Saudi Arabia's flag, it's green. And what's on it? Two swords. The one who was sitting on this pale horse was death. In relation to the fourth seal, the pale horse came, the false green, trying to imitate the true green, who is Jesus. So now this pale horse is trying to imitate the original green. He is trying to imitate Christ in His divinity, but he is now pale, going against the true green. And the one who sits on it is death itself. Saint John is introducing Jesus Christ to the entire world as the true divine God, and He is the Son of God. You go to the Islamic faith, they will tell you two things, or they will deny two things about Jesus Christ. Number one, He cannot be the Son of God because that's a blasphemy. God cannot have a son, you are blaspheming. That's the Islamic faith, not me. And secondly, Jesus was never crucified, but it was shown to them as if it was Jesus. In fact, they say God put Judas Iscariot on the cross instead of Jesus. Judas Iscariot, Islam came in 635 AD. The Gospel of John was written around 100 AD. So 535 years came after the Gospel of John. John is an eyewitness, my dear Muhammad. John is an eyewitness. He lived with Jesus. He walked with Jesus. He saw Jesus' wonders and miracles, and he documented it fresh. So you're telling me that now I need to believe in someone coming 6 centuries or 7 centuries after the Holy Bible was documented. You want me to believe in a document that came 7 centuries after the Holy Bible. You want me to believe in someone that never saw Jesus, never lived with Jesus, never walked with Jesus, over the one who walked, lived, ate, embraced Jesus Christ every single day for 3 years and 4 months. Where is the logic? And let me say this to Andrew Tate. If you think that Christians are cowards, you are mistaken. Christ is the only revolutionist ever to exist. No human being ever was able to change the whole world with a word. Superpowers came with weapons and great force. They could not change nothing. Jesus, no weapon, no knife, no sword, nothing. Absolutely nothing. He changed the whole world with the word. There is no one greater than Jesus Christ of Nazareth ever to exist on the face of this planet. I belong to that Jesus. I fear no one, and I fear nothing. Understand? I can't stand it when they talk about my Jesus like that. If the Christians are coward, Christ is the glory. And he's the warrior. So you better take that back, Mr. Andrew Tate. But there's one thing you have misunderstood. Let me tell you. And those who share the same mindset like you. Jesus Christ is love. He came on his first coming as mercy. See, you need to understand one thing about love. Love is the most powerful thing ever to exist. And it is the weakest thing also ever to exist at the same time. Love is the most powerful and the weakest at the same time. Why? Because when you love someone from the heart, you will do anything and everything for that someone. If that love is received as weakness, then it's the ignorance of the other party, not the one who loves. But let me tell you, when the time comes, love can be also very, very powerful. Because love moves mountains. You see, you cannot change the heart of a person using force. You cannot change the mind of a person using the sword and threatening to beheading people. The only way you can change a heart of a man or a woman is when you show them and give them love, not power. Don't ever misunderstand what Jesus is all about. Don't ever. And this goes to all the Christians. To all the Christians. Eat everything. Look, the Lord took me to heaven. Yeah? I want Andrew Tate to hear this. Yes? And everyone like Andrew Tate. Let me tell you this, all of you, everyone. The Lord, no one else, took me to heaven. Let me tell you, there is no Muhammad. There is no Buddha. There is no Krishna. There is no one. Only one, Jesus. Why? Because he is the only one. There is no one else but him. He is God revealed in the flesh. God revealed in the flesh. No one else. No one else. This is not judgment. This is not attack. This is not discrimination. Believe you me, I love everyone. Believe you, and if you don't want to believe, it's up to you. It doesn't matter. But I love you because my Jesus taught me to love everyone. Let me tell you this, you will never ever find anyone in heaven except Jesus Christ. Buddhists, stop chasing Buddha. I can assure you, you can say Buddha was a nice man. You can put as many oranges and apple in front of him. That will get you nowhere. Let me tell you, you can follow your 3 million gods, Hindus. They'll get you nowhere. You can follow Muhammad, it'll get you nowhere. The only one that truly is who he is Jesus Christ of Nazareth. And this has got nothing to do with Christians or anyone else. It's got to do with the truth. This is the truth. Jesus Christ is God, the creator of everyone and everything, visible and invisible. That's all I saw in heaven, him. I didn't see anyone else. Why would I make up a story like this? You know what, this story could get me into trouble, if anything, really. People might not like what they hear. I'm not making it up. Mr. Andrew Tate, I'll pray for you, my dear friend, to come back to the Lord Jesus because you made a big mistake by denying your Lord. The biggest mistake ever you've made in your life. And I pray the Lord touches your heart and bring you back to the truth, for there is no other truth but Jesus Christ of Nazareth. There has been a video circulating in TikTok and I don't know where else, saying that the bishop has 2 weeks to live. Yeah. And somebody saying, farewell, Bishop, and we're really sad to see you go. Look, I was extremely excited when I heard that I have 2 weeks to live, because I don't want to stay in this world. For me, it's over. Whether I stay or not, it doesn't matter really. I've had my share of this world, and I pray that the Lord takes me today before tomorrow. I want to be with him. This is not running away. This is not an escape, no. I'm saying it with confidence in the Lord Jesus. I love you, Lord, and I choose you any time of the day, all day long, to be with you. I don't care about the world and whatever the world gives. So I was extremely happy. I thank the person who did this video. Thank you so much. I didn't know that I was dying in 2 weeks. So, but I'm not sure if I will go in 2 weeks' time. Maybe, I don't know. But as far as being sick, and he has got 2 weeks left, that's news to me. So whether it's a disappointment to some who are listening or it's a happy occasion, I'm just letting you know, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think I am sick and I'm dying in 2 weeks' time, but everything is in the Lord's capable hands. But there is no such thing. I am not sick, I'm not dying. Yeah, so I'm sorry to say this. Maybe some of them heard it and said, yes, finally we're getting rid of this old bishop. Sorry guys, I'm still sitting on your heart. الدرسن تخوى اشقيلو قمتريشا
بس ليش عم يصب رسولي ما كنت جيت لهون؟ إذا عم يدخل حلب ديني ما كنت جيت لهون، بس هو عم يدخل حلب ديني. هي دين هي دين إذا هو حكى هي دين الشيطان مالتك حبيبي. إذا لفاني فارس جود بوي جود بوي روح على شيطانك شوف شو يسوي عليك. إذا هو بس حكى عن دينه ما كنت جيت، بس لا بده يتعشى حوله. يلا قرب كاز.
Yeah, there's too many people here.
Well, you can just tell me what happened. Camera's not on
He
you.
was stabbing. He was stabbing.
Yeah.
And I saw him. I ran and grabbed him from behind and just pushed him down. Look, all that's all his blood.
Wow.
Motherfucker. He kept saying Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar.
He was saying that?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar.
Nah, jadi itu dia videonya teman-teman. Terima kasih sudah menonton video ini dan sudah menyaksikan bagaimana seorang uskup yang berasal dari gereja Assyria, di mana dia menubuatkannya, bahkan meramalkan bagaimana dia akan harus meninggalkan dunia ini, dan itu merupakan suatu kebahagiaan bagi dia. Dan kita lihat bagaimana khotbahnya, bagaimana dia memberitakan Kristus kepada banyak orang. Dia menegaskan, menekankan bahwa hanyalah Kristus satu-satunya yang memberikan kehidupan, yang memberikan keselamatan. Di luar itu tidak ada keselamatan. Nah teman-teman, bukan hanya kali ini terjadi hal-hal yang seperti ini, bahkan di zaman para rasul sudah terjadi yang namanya dengan penganiayaan, pembunuhan, dan juga dikucilkan orang-orang Kristen pada zaman itu, dan bahkan hal itu terjadi sampai saat ini. Dan juga sudah pernah Yesus ingatkan kepada kita semua ya, bahwa semuanya ini kukatakan kepadamu. Itu tertulis dalam Yohanes 16 ayat 1 sampai 3. Semuanya ini kukatakan kepadamu supaya kamu jangan kecewa dan menolak aku. Kamu akan dikucilkan, bahkan akan datang saatnya bahwa setiap orang yang membunuh kamu akan menyangka bahwa ia berbuat bakti bagi Allah. Mereka berbuat demikian karena mereka tidak mengenal baik Bapa maupun aku. Nah, teman-teman, itu sudah jelas apa yang disampaikan oleh Kristus, mengingatkan kepada kita pada akhir zaman ini bahwa begitu banyak yang anti dengan kekristenan, begitu banyak yang tidak suka dengan nama Yesus, banyak mereka yang kepanasan, banyak mereka yang tidak terima, banyak mereka yang marah, yang ngamuk, yang benci ketika hamba-hamba Tuhan memberitakan nama Kristus. Karena sesuai dengan firman Tuhan bahwa nama Kristus itu berkuasa. Di dalam namanya ada berita pertobatan dan pengampunan dosa. Dan nama itu harus diberitakan kepada segala bangsa yang ada di dunia ini. Supaya apa? Supaya setiap orang yang percaya pada nama itu, mengimani nama itu, dan menyerahkan seluruh kehidupannya kepada Kristus, maka dia akan memperoleh hidup yang kekal. Dan janji Kristus kepada kita itu sudah pasti dan sudah dijamin bahwa kita diberikan hidup yang kekal oleh Kristus, dan tidak seorang pun yang merebut kita dari tangan Kristus. Kita pasti tidak akan pernah binasa ketika kita hidup di dalam Tuhan. Dan kita lihat tadi bagaimana luar biasanya dia meramalkan bahwa 2 minggu lagi dia akan mengalami hal yang luar biasa. Dan itu dia tegaskan bahwa dia tidak berada dalam keadaan sakit-sakitan, bukan berada dalam keadaan sekarat, tetapi dia bahagia ketika dia mengatakan bahwa dia akan meninggalkan dunia ini. Dan tidak lama kemudian, 2 minggu kemudian, tiba-tiba ada salah seorang yang tidak dikenal, yang tentu saja itu adalah non-Kristen, yang tidak percaya kepada Yesus Kristus. Tiba-tiba dia maju ke depan, masuk ke dalam gereja, dan mengambil sebuah pisau, dan kemudian dia menusuk seorang uskup yang sudah memberitakan kebenaran firman Tuhan itu. Nah, demikian yang saya sampaikan. Kiranya Tuhan Yesus memberkati kita semua. Shalom.